We're holding in Bava Daf Chof Hey, starting the Mishnah Chodal and base. So Zog the Mishnah. Shara Mazik B'Shus Hanizak. We have this is a quote from when we learned the first parak. The Shar Mazik was Mazik in the property of the Nizak. Then he's Chayav. Ketzat. What's the case? Nogach, gourd, Nogach, pushed, Noshach, bit, Rovat, sit, Boat, kicked, Rishus Rabbi, Mishar Chatzinezik. And Rishus Rabbi is Chatzinezik because it's a carrot. Rishus Hanizak, what happens when you go to Rishus Hanizak? Tav Min Nezik Shalem, Chatzinezik. If you remember in Perek Rishon, we said, we can speak about Machlokes with Tav Rabbanon in the next Perek. That's like more said. When we had the Mishnah of the 5 Tamim, 5 Modim, more referred to that. Now, we're time for comes to say Kavuchim. I'm going to tell you, it has to be the Karen and Rishus Hanizak will pay Nezek Shalom. Why? So like this. B'mavako shekel al Hashem al regel Rishus Rabbi Mishum Pator. Hichmir al Rishus Hanizak Shalom Nezek Shalom. Shein v'regel, right? Shein v'regel. In Rishus Rabbi you're Pator. You chayav only in Rishus HaYachid. So shein v'regel in Rishus Rabbi you're Pator. When you come to Rishus HaYachid, you chayav Nezek Shalom. Makom sheichmir l'kem Rishus Rabbi l'shav chatzi nezek. Ein odi sheichmir l'kem Rishus Hanizak l'shav nezek Shalom. Karen Rishus Rabbi is chayav chatzi nezek. So of course it's chayav nezek Shalom. Again, shein v'regel Rishus Rabbi is Pator. When you come to Rishus Hanizak, it's chayav nezek Shalom. Karen in Rishus Rabbi is only half a nezek. So kol sheken in Rishus Hanizak will be nezek Shalom. Right? That's a rule called Dyer. What's the rule of Dyer? When I want to learn from something to something else, I can't be greater than the Melamed, than the one who teaches. How am I learning over here? I'm saying like this. Regel in Rishus Rabbi Pater. Rishus Hanizak nezek Shalom. So Karen, Rishus Rabbi is Chatzi Nezek. Kol sheken, the Karen will be Rishus Rabbi nezek Shalom. So I'm learning from Karen Rishus Rabbi. Karen Rishus Rabbi is Chatzi Nezek. If Rishus Rabbi is Chatzi Nezek, Rishus HaYachid, which is more chamor, of course, will be nezek Shalom. So Sensei, Rabbanon, 1 second. Dayo means you're learning from Karen Rishus Rabbi. Karen Rishus Rabbi is half a nezek. So Rishus HaYachid will be half a nezek. It won't be more than what the teacher is. You say, if Karen Rishus Rabbi is Chatzi Nezek, of course Karen Rishus HaYachid will be nezek Shalom. No. Karen Rishus HaYachid will be Chatzi Nezek, like the teacher who's Chatzi Nezek. So he said, you know what? You're right. Af ani, me too, with that chofia with the top. Lo yodun Karen mi Karen. Ani yodun Karen mi regel. He says, you know what? You're saying my problem is I'm learning Karen from Karen. Therefore, the Karen Rishus Rabbi is Chatzi Nezek, Rishus HaYachid is Chatzi Nezek. I'm not going to learn Karen from Karen. I'm going to learn Karen from regel. How? I'm going to learn Karen from regel. Don't learn from the Karen. Learn from the Rishuyas. And Rishus Rabbi, Shem Regel is Pater. Karen is Chayav. Maku sheichmir Shem Regel Rishus Hanizak. In Rishus Hanizak, Shem Regel is Chayav. Ein odin sheichmir b'Karen. So I'm not learning from Karen. Learn Shem Regel. The first couple of him was if Karen Rishus Rabbi is Chatzezek, Kol Shkosh HaYachid will be Nezek Shalom. Now I'm saying this. If Shen v'regel in Rishus Hanizak is Chayav, wow, Rishus Rabbi is Pater. So Karen, Rishus Rabbi is Chatzezek. Kol Shkosh should be Rishus Hanizak Nezek Shalom, like Shen v'regel was Nezek Shalom in Rishus Hanizak. So it's really the same Kavachim, but the question is, what is the teacher? Is the teacher Karen Rishus Rabbi? If you have Rishus Rabbi, of course you have Rishus Hanizak. Or the teacher is the Shen v'regel. If Shen v'regel is Chayav, of course Karen is Chayav. So what happened? Shen v'regel is Chayav Nezek Shalom. So it's not Dyer anymore. Amuloi Dyer levom nedilers kenidoi. Rishus Rabbi Chatzi Nezek, Rishus Hanizak Chatzi Nezek. Something more known. At the end of the day, you're learning from Karen. Yeah, you're right. The actual teacher is Shen v'regel. So Shen v'regel is Chayav Nezek Shalom. Kosher and Karen Chayav Nezek Shalom. Correct. But how do I know that Shen v'regel is less than Karen? Because the Rishus Rabbi, Shen v'regel is Pater and Karen is Chayav Chatzi Nezek. So you're going back to the fact that you have to get to the Chatzi Nezek of Karen. So it doesn't matter how you slice it. At the end of the day, the only reason you want to learn that Karen should be more in Rosh Hashanah is based on the fact that Karen Rosh Hashanah is more. And there it's only Chatzinezik, you can't be more than Chatzinezik. So it doesn't matter how you slice it. So maybe this way, maybe that way. But Tafel holds for the Kavochem you learn as a Shalom, and if Rabbanan holds Kavochem you can learn more than one of the sources, even the main source. And because you learn from Karen Rosh Hashanah and there it's Chatzinezik, so you will be Chatzinezik. So this really opens up to the Gemara is going to go into now. Kavochem and Daya. Kavochem says, if there's something which is less over the ear, and here is more, so something which is more over there, Koshkin here should be more. Daya says, okay, but I'm not going to be more than what I'm learning from. Says the Gemara, Veritafron Leisle Daya. Tarot does not agree with Daya. Daya there I see. Daya, you learn from a Torah. I learn from a Torah. The Tanya. Midin Kavochem Ketzar. How do I know the din of Kavochem? Where is Kavochem coming from? So he says, we learn from the following. Yoimar. We learn from Kavochem Ketzar. Yoimar, Vayoimer Hashem and Moshe, Avia Yorok, Yogafaneo, Loiti Kalem, Shivas Yomim. Right, when Miriam spoke Lashon Hara on Moshe Rabbeinu. So Moshe told Moshe Rabbeinu, when a father is upset on his daughter, for 7 days she has to be in the Zifa. 7 days she has to be away from her father. So therefore what? What is the Torah saying? Miriam should be also 7 days. Right? What does the Torah tell you? Shmuel tells Moshe Rabbeinu, you have to put Miriam away for 7 days. If when a father is upset with the daughter, you go away for 7 days, so of course the Shechina you'll be away for 7 days. So they went, why? The father 7 days, the Shechina should be more. Now why 14 days? Why not 100 days? The way they should say maybe forever. So Torah says, because we brings one thing Torah says the father gives half of the Shutafim Ba'ada. And the Gemara brings in Nido that the father gives 5 things, the mother gives 5 things, and Kishbol gives 10 things. So Kishbol goes double than the father. So if a father is 7 days, you have to be nizger for 7 days, secluded for 7 days. So Kishbol should be double. Why are you saying only 7 days by Kishbol? The Torah said by Miriam, Kishbol tells Moshe, a regular father you go away for 7 days, so of course the Shechina will be away for 7 days. Why 7 days? 14 days. Hello, Daya, there's can either. So that's Daya. Yeah, I can't learn more than a teacher. You want to learn from the father. The father's 7 days. So the Shechina will also be 7 days. It says more, Ki leis le Dayoi, heiche de mifrich kavochemer. Heiche de loimich kavochemer, leis is le Daya. So now the Gemara says that the Pshat of Taf is like this. You do have Daya. But you do have kavochemer as well. Meaning, the kavochemer must teach me something I did not know without the kavochemer. I know on my own X. Comes the kavochemer teaches you Y. If the Daya takes away the Y, so I'm left with X, so what do I need kavochemer for? So the Talmud says like this. If I have X, the kavochemer teaches me Y and Z. Comes the Daya and says, oh, Daya, you can't learn more than a teacher. Takes away Z, you stand left with Y. That's fine. As long as the kavochemer gave me an extra thing. Without the kavochemer, I knew only X. Now I know X and Y. That's fine. I have something the kavochemer taught me. The Daya tells me to take away Z. But if the Daya takes away the Y, that's what I learned from the kavochemer. The Daya can't take what the kavochemer gives me. So I have nothing from the kavochemer. That's what goes to explain. So again, that's only when kavochemer is a problem. If you don't kavochemer, is a Daya. Hasam Shiva de Shchino Aksivi. I know 7. Right? Because it says right away that you have 7 days. It says in the Torah you have to have 7 days. Okay. Also Shiva de Shchino. I'm sorry. So again. Also Shiva de Shchino Lo Aksivi. Right? Without, I didn't know how long. Does Miriam have to be secluded? Doesn't say how long. Hasi kavochemer, I see arbo asor. Hasi dayoi mafik shiva, v'uki shiva. Right? Without the Torah, I don't know how long someone has to be secluded. Comes the Torah and says, Kavachomer, if a father, 7, Kol Sheken, that a Shechina should be 0, should be what? 14. So I went from 0 to 14. So more Daya, don't be more than the father. 7. Okay, so Kavachomer gave me 7. Without the Kavachomer, it will be 0. Kavachomer would give me 14 without the Daya. With the Daya, I come to 7. So I got to the Kavachomer. We know Chatzinez. The Torah never differentiated between Rishus Rab and Rishus Nizak. It says always you have Chatzinez. As a Kavachomer, I see Chatzinez Gachino. Right? V'nasin Shalom. Now I turn from Chatzinez to V'nasin Shalom. Idosh Dayo Evich Kavachomer. So it says Rabbi Tarford, Dayo can't take away Kavachomer completely. By Miriam, without the Kavachomer, was 0. Kavachomer brought me to 14. That took me down to 7. Half saw the Kavachomer. Here, the Chatzinez I have already. Kavachomer told me Nezek Shalom. If you take that away, so I have another Kavachomer. Rabbanon, Shiva the Shechino, Ksivi. I know Shiva Shechino, I don't need Kavachomer for that. Tizoga Shivas Yomi. It doesn't post Shivas Yomi. So, you see from the Torah that Dayo takes Kavachomer completely. Tarvana Uti Soger, the Darshinon Dayo. That's what the Sira tells you. That you have Dayo. Don't say 14. I have another pasuk. Isoger Miriam. I have another pasuk. Isoger Miriam. So that teaches you the Dayo. Maybe I want to teach you that all over you say Dayo. Here by Moshe Rabbeinu, people say, you know what, do Dayo. That's a chiddush. Right? So now, so what is the Gemara saying? So the Gemara is coming in and saying this. Everybody agrees in the concept of Dayo. Everybody agrees. The shaila is, does Dayo work when the Dayo completely uproots the Kavachomer? If you hold that, Rabbi Tarfon holds, that Dayo works as long as the Kavachomer gave me something. But all that can take away from the Kavachomer. That's the Machlek Azuri. I'm going to put with Abaye, and I tell the Loi Dorish Dayo. So I'll show you. There is a Dayo that doesn't say Dayo, even though there's no Kavachomer. Mean, what is the Gemara saying? Based on what we learned right now, we learned that there's no such thing not to say Dayo. Even if Tarfon agrees you say Dayo. Only in a case the Kavachomer takes away, then then only in the case that a Kavachomer doesn't work, then I don't say Dayo. But in general, I do say Dayo. It's more. I'm saying I'm going to bring you a riot if someone doesn't say Dayo, even if I have a Kavachomer, even if the Kavachomer is not uprooted. The time. What's the riot? Keri bezav minai. So keri, there is different fluids that come out of a zav. And the ziva, which is a one type of fluid, makes him tummy. I want to know when a person has a zav, he has a tumor zav, and he has the other fluid called shikva zera, regular semen comes out of him. Does he have tumor or not? Vidinu. Umator betor tame. What tor betor tome tame? What about a regular Torah person? He's start. If he goes to the bathroom and he urinates, he's start. But if he has shikva zera, if he has semen, he's tummy. We know the shikva zera in the Torah causes tumor by anybody. Tame betor enodin shutom betame. So by a zav, when he urinates, we know it becomes tummy. So if a zav, his urine causes tumor, kol sheken shikva zera causes tumor, that's a Kavachomer. The kamaise bein the mago bein the maso. Oh, so now we have to understand something. A regular guy that has shikva zera, he gets a tumor which is called tumus mago. You touch it, you become tummy. Tumus maso, it means that when you carry it, even if you didn't touch it, you carry it, you become tummy as well. That does not work by a regular person, only by a zav. A zav has a tumor called tumus maso. So says the Gemara, you're learning Kavachomer. If a regular person who is Mereglaim is not tummy, his shikva zera is tummy, a zav the Mereglaim is tummy, kol shikva the shikva zera will be tummy. Okay, so those can either. By a regular person, it's only tumas mako. By zav should also only be tumas mako, only touching. But you're learning also maso. That's what the Gemara is asking. The kamaisilo bein lemago bein lemaso. V'emai. Nemo say. So Say the Kavachoyme will tell me that the Magas Tomeh. Nidayo lafuki maso. Without the Kavachoyme, without know that Shiva Zera Vazav is Tomeh. Kavachoyme tells you it's Tomeh Mago Maso. Comes the Daya, takes away the Maso, you stay with Mago. So Kavachoyme Div gives you something. So you see over here, you don't say Daya, even if the Kavachoyme gives you something. The Mago lo Yitzah Kavachoyme. Maybe you told me Mago doesn't need Kavachoyme. The Legover Migaver Tor. Any person who's a regular person, Tor, not Zav, has a Tumas Mago in his Shiva Zera. So a Zav, why should be different? We need it. It says by Shiva Zera Mikre Laila. It was a coincidence that happened in the night. You know, the only reason fluids are coming out of him is because of this. It's not the Mikre Laila. He has a lot of fluids coming out this time. He's sick. Something else causing the zivo. Kamash Malan. Says the word Midia Dorachaksiv. So well, no, that's not a raya. We never found the pasuk an exclusion that says that only a normal Shikva Zera causes Tumah, but if it's coming because of other reasons, it doesn't cause Shikva Zera. The Torah just told me a regular rule. Shikva Zera causes Tumah. That's it. With no exclusions. So Azav is included. So in Melee, when I say Kavachoymer, I want to add a Kavachoymer something I didn't have before. Like a Rav. So Maga already know. Kavachoymer teaches you Maso. So who is really the Mandorah that says that this assumption that we just assumed that the semen of a Zav causes tumor of mass of Karen? Where do you know that from? It's like the more assume that it's not a Pasha. Who said that? It's not Rabbi Shua than that. It says the Mishnah. It says clearly that the semen of a Zav causes a tumor of Mago only touching, not caring. Also causes a tumor of Maso. The reason is because probably in this semen there's a little ziva too. There's some residue of ziva. So that's because it causes Maso. After the Rabbi Shua also, the only reason Rabbi Shua says that it causes tumor of Maso because you can't be without ziva. So nobody says that pure Shikva Zera Azav causes tumor. So why are you assuming that Shikva Zera Azav causes tumor's mass? So more there's a different time. Now we find the Mishnah that says Lemalu Mihim. We're talking about Lemalu Mihim, referring to the obvious tumor that we says Sheretz, Shikva Zera, Temet Beis. So they cause different tumors. Above them, a higher level of tumors. What? Now Chafel base. Zovoy Shozav, the Zav, the Ziva that comes to the Zav, this liquid. By the way, how are they translating Zovoy? What the arts called? The fluid of the Zav? Fluid, okay. Veroiko is spit, saliva. The Shukazara is Shukazara. Umeimi Raglov. Vidamanido Mitayim Bimagri Maso. So clearly, you speak about Shukazara, and you say that stomach, Maga, and Maso, touching and caring. So maybe he holds like he was sure before that the reason it's a tam not because it's pure shivazaz with tam. Shivazaz with tam because you have ziva in it. So when you can't think about zoiva, look at the list. The list says zoiva shozav. Then it says roiko, it's saliva. Then it says shivazara. Why shivazara is not next to zoiva? It's only mitam because of zoiva. Why are you saying it after saliva? And Mishum Da'asimi Roiko. You learn from Roik. Yeah, one thing I said a mistake. Apologies before. The Kavachoymer that I said from Tar, I said from his urine, from Eraglaim. There's a discussion about that. We're not talking about urine, we're talking about saliva. The saliva of a Tar is Tar. But is Shiva Zer's Tameh, saliva of a Zav is Tameh, Koch Shiva Zer. That's what we referred to before. So one says, why putting Roiko? Because it has to do with Roiko. Because you learn Kavachoymer from Roiko. So this is the Magdom that holds that the Shirozer is out because of two Magdom Maso. One says, holds like a B'tarfern, you see Kavachoymer, and you say, and you can't say Dayo over here. I'll bring another right. You said there's no such thing. If you say Dayo, you never will say Dayo if you could. In other words, everybody agrees you say Dayo if you can. Only if you have a Kavachoymer, then you don't say Dayo. If you have nothing to do with the Kavachoymer. So we get another right from Adomar that he says, Dayoi, if he's not saying Dayoi, even though the Kavachomer is intact, the time. It says in the Brayso. Maputz b'meitz minai. Maputz means a mat. How do we know that a mat of mace, meaning if a mace touches a mat, it causes tumor? We have different requirements. It says if a mace was in a tent, if a mace was here, how do you know mat? V'dinu Kavachomer. Uma pachim tani means small jars. Shetorim bezav. Azav doesn't metame because azav can metame only by touching or by carrying, but only something can get into the inside. Small jars, the opening is very small, so the zav is not able to put his hand inside. So therefore, it's not metame. Metame b'meis. It does cause tumor in the mace because too much oil goes even in the small jars. Mapach metame zav, the mat, and that's when we know that a zav is metame a mat when he lays in it. Ain't no din shitame mace, of course metame mace. That's a couple. The kamais will be the tumas area, but the tumas shiva. Now, what is mace different than zav? Zav that becomes tameh is tameh only one day, unless he gets. There are cases where he gets a shiva, but something that touches a zav is tameh only one day. Something that touches a mace is tameh for 7 days. You want to say that the mat is tameh for 7 days? How do you learn it? Kavachomer. If by a zav is tameh one day, koshka by mace we tameh 7 days. That's a kavachomer more than the melamed. Why do you say dial over your should be tameh only one day? Makes it tumas erev. It has tumah for 1 day till the evening. Take away the shine be 7 days. Zachariah asked this question to Abaye. He's now learning mace right now. We're coming to learn mapat b'sheretz. How do you know that a sheretz, a dead worm, a dead animal, let's call it dead worm for our case, causes a tumor as well? How do you know that you have tumor of mapats of a mat? Very clever. Mapat b'sheretz b'nayin. How do you know mapat gets tumor b'sheretz? V'dinu. Uma pachim k'tani shetorim b'zav. The small jars are torim b'zav because he can't get into it. Torim b'sheretz because the sheretz couldn't get into it, and also sheretz has other requirements to be tameh. Mapat shmetar b'zav. The mat that goes torim b'zav ain't no din shmetar b'sheretz. And you learn it only for tumas erev. So we're not learning more than the kavachomer, and we're saying dyer, everything is good. We're not learning more than melamed. So that kavachomer that we said before, you didn't learn mace. Because mace, you need to learn more, and I can't do it. I have a dyer. We're learning only sheretz. Ela mapat b'meis b'nayin. So how do I know mapat b'meis? Nema, we have a gzera shova. Nema beged v'ori b'sheretz. V'nema beged v'ori b'meis. Beged v'ori, it says the clothing and leather. Ma beged v'ori amur b'sheretz mapat metame boy. Ma beged v'ori b'sheretz causes tumor. We just learned now kavachomer with no problem with that. A beged v'ori amur b'meis metame boy. So then you also learn over there that's metame. Now how long will be metame mace? 7 days. So everyone's going to refer to that in a moment. But this is now in kavachomer because there's a shava. So the shava I can learn more than the melamed. So first of all, the Gemara says mufle. So tell me that mapets, right? So you just to let's remember the structure of the Gemara. The Gemara understood that the mat by a mace is tamid for kavachomer from sheretz, for kavachomer from zav. If zav is tamid a mat, kol sheken a mace. So the Gemara we have a diet by zav. It's only 1 day, so it should be only 1 day, and we say 2 or 7 days. Says the Gemara, kavachomer is not to mace. Kavachomer is to sheretz. If a zav is tamid mat, kol sheken a sheretz tamid mat, and only for 1 day. So how do I know mace? I have a gzera shava. 2 sheretz. If sheretz metame, mace also metame. Not but mace, you learn 7 days. The Gemara is going to address that in a moment. So first the Gemara says, you want to gzera shava from sheretz to mace, you have to be mufle. Mufle means it needs to be extra words by both, because if you have a gzera shava, and if you have a question of gzera shava, the only way the gzera shava trumps the question, it's only if it's extra words. That's the rule. That's called mufle. Mufle means I have nothing else to do with the words. So the Torah told me to say gzera shava. So that's what it says over here. Mufle. It has to be mufle. Hila mufle. If it's not extra, you have a question. A sheretz in mitame as small as a bean. A mace, it needs to be kazais. In order for a mace to cost tuma, the mace has to be a size of kazais. A sheretz can be much smaller. So by sheretz, I have a pircha. How can you learn that the mace time math from a sheretz? Sheretz is more chamer. Says the Gemara, lie. Lie means true. It is extra. And we have a sheretz is mukash to shivazera. You have a hekesh tishes. Techtiv, oy sheyitzem shivazera, v'semchli sheyigad b'chol sheretz. So the Torah puts together, right, the hekesh between a shivazera and between a sheretz and shivazera. Techtiv shivazera v'chol beged v'chol or sheyeboy I love shivazera. It says beged or clothing and leather by shivazera. So why you have to write big old shirts? I already know it by Hekesh from Shivazera. So it's extra. Okay, so the words by Sheretz are extra. It's extra by Sheretz. But what about mace? You want to learn Gzir Shavah from Sheretz to mace. If I have two words of Gzir Shavah you learn from A to B. So if the words by A are extra and the words by B are not extra, you say Gzir Shavah and I can't ask any questions. That's one mandor. So Shafir, then everything works well. So even though you have a question, I have the extra words in Sheretz to teach you on mace. And the mandor made the Mishivi, Michael made this mandor that says no. In order to force Gzir Shavah, even when we have a question, I need to have that the words of A and the words of B will both be extra. If the words of A are extra and the words of B are not extra, I still can ask questions. So here I have a question. So the mace nami afreim mufti. Also the words beged v'or by mace is extra. Mich the mace is kasher shvazera. Mace is mukash to shvazera. Also the same way she has shvazera. Also mace is hekesh shvazera. Dechtiv. V'anu gia b'chol tomei nefesh o yish etzem shvazera. So it says in the word same pasuk mace and shvazera. Dechtiv shvazera b'chol beged v'chol har sheyal shvazera. It says like we said before. By Shivazera, it mentions Beged Or. Beged Or, because of Mona Bebeis, Lamali. So why it says Beged Or Bebeis? Shvamino, Lafnuye. So it's extra. So by Mace, I don't have to say the word Beged Or because we learn Shivazera. And by Sheretz, I don't have to say Beged Or because we learn Shivazera. Have a Mufne Mishnei Tzodim. Oh, so the first of all, the word says, can you say Gzir Shavah? I have a question. And then I have a question, I have a problem, I don't say Shvazera. Well, no, it's extra on both sides. And then everybody agrees when it's extra in A, extra in B, I have to say Gzir Shavah. I don't care about all the questions that you have. The Gemara still has one thing to solve. So I learned from Sheretz to Mace. But Sheretz is only 1 day Tumah. Mace is 7 day Tumah. So right, it's not called the Chaymer. It's a Gzir Shavah. But still, you learn from 1 day to 7 days. So now the Gemara says the following. By Gzir Shavah, there's two ways, there's two mando'omer. How do you do Gzir Shavah? When I want to learn A to B, do I learn from A the concept, but I use the halachas of B, the characteristics of B? I just learn the concept of A? Or when I learn A to B, I learn from A all the details of A. Whatever A does, B does the same thing for what I'm learning to. That's called domino umino, or domino v'ukibasu. Domino, learn from A and keep the halachas of A, or learn from A the concept and use the concept of B. That's what it says over here. You learn from A to B and then you keep the characteristics of B. So I learn from Sheretz to Mace. The idea that you have Tumah of Shivazera. Now I use the characteristics of B. By Mace, everything is Tumah 7 days. So Shivazera will be Tumah 7 days. But if the Kodesh says that you learn from A, you have to keep the halachas of A. So if I learn from Sheretz is only 1 day, so by Mace should be only 1 day. Michael, we're going to sit over there. So I still have a problem. How do I know that that you have a din shivazera with the halachas of Mace? O my Rava, O my Crow, v'chibastem b'gdeichem v'mashvi It says in the Torah special extra words, because after reading we know that. It says you wash your clothes in the 7th day. You have to wait 7 days. It says it by Tomei. Special goes to tell you, Kol tumois shatametamim b'meis lo yu pchusim mi shiva. All the tumors that you tell the mace should be at least 7 days. That's what it is. So the Gemara says it's exercise custom. You're right. Minikar din exer shava maybe should be only 1 day. But as far as exercise custom, whenever you learn by mace, you learn for 7 days. So all this is complicated topics that do with tumor tahara. But all of this is coming back because we have your machlekes between Rabbon and Rabbi Tarfon. Do I say dayo? Rabbon say dayo tells me I can never go beyond the milamid. I'm stuck. Tarfon says no, it depends. If the dayo trumps the kavachayim completely, you don't say dayo. If it doesn't trump, you do say. Now the whole of the Gemara here wanted to say, so is there a mandama that says that I will never say dayo? The Gemara says no. The maskar of the Gemara is after all the shakar dayo, we never found the mandama that says dayo with no. That doesn't say dayo. You say dayo unless you have no choice. But there is no mandama that says dayo. This brings here a question that we did find maybe one place where the Gemara seems to say there's a mandama that holds that there's no dayo. Say there, Gomer, we'll stop with this.